in the NCAA tournament. It's the first round 3 versus 6 seed. Let's play some volleyball. Belmont Abbey will be starting with the serve, and Ryan Charles, the senior outside hitter, will lead us off. 3-stack at the net, they get it over cleanly, and we're off. Slam down to start, and the Bruins are going to score.
Yeah, Luke, the Bruins are really good about where they're locating these hits and very accurate.
Zach Rama earning the first point here for the Bruins. Again, best of 5 here for our format all day today. Serve is off well from Rowan. Played over to the back line. Jumping to the bench right beside us. And then back over. Free ball to the Crusaders. They played at the net off of a set of blockers, and that's the UCLA defense that scores.
Cameron Ford and Cooper Robinson there with that double team block, and 2 players that really dominated the MPSF this year.
UCLA looking to continue their dominance, 60-10 all time in the NCAA tournament as they lead off. Rowan holding. And then back over for free. Set away, Rowan give up and fake down. It's off the back blocker and the score from Sean Kelly.
A little bit of trickery there, Luke. Thought for a second Cameron Ford was going to be the one to knock it over the net. Doesn't do that and maybe catches Belmont Abbey off guard a little bit.
And it's going to stay with Andrew Rowan, the junior, native of California, traveling a long distance to try and win the chip. Off the serve here. Digs one over, and that's going to be a service error.
And if you are the Crusaders, Luke, definitely got to be patient with what you're trying to take from UCLA and hope they slip up a little bit. You saw it right there with the service error.
First point here for the Crusaders. Haddad will send it over. Set up well. Another fake that right side backline attack. And again, the Bruins score.
Yeah, the Bruins once again finding the soft spots in those zones that the Crusaders are playing with, and they're off to an early, scorching hot start.
Cooper Robinson up to take it next, the MSPF Player of the Year. Sends it, ricocheting off the net. Set up for Belmont, and they attack that left side. They'll call it a Crusader point.
Nice reaction there to get it over, and UCLA has the size advantage, so definitely got to play the lanes right, especially for long arm spans that the Bruins do have.
Got some tall players. They've got some menaces to the game. Joseph Morris stepping up. Sophomore clears it over. Backline sets it, and again the 1-2 fake. Crusaders keep it alive. At the net they go. Only one blocker sent there, and they send it flying into the crowd off a shot from Caden Day.
And right there you saw Andrew Rowan and also Cooper Robertson both try to go for the ball. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. Both of them went for it, and the ball flew back.
It's going to be a 4-3 game. And Morris will go again. Backline dug it well. Send it to the front, and they go on the 1-2, and it drops.
And right there, no one tried picking that ball up, and it just died. So you got to hit the ball over, especially against UCLA, in order to score some points.
Just set one of the day. Again, you've got to win 3 of them. This one's going to be Cameron Thorne, the Grand Canyon transfer, leading off the 5-3. Played up towards that right side, and the Bruins just playing calm defense. The setback, and looks like they're going to call it a net violation.
Yeah, looks like they are, Luke, and the Crusaders hanging around with UCLA right now, making this a game. They're not going to go down easily.
Everybody fought for their spot here today. And it'll be Zach Puentes stepping up, sending over. Set up there, and a slam down comes through. Cooper Robinson, hello Columbus.
Cooper Robinson heading into today with 335 kills on the season. Up there at the top in the MPSF conference.
Zach Rama's back to the line. Off the 6-4. The Crusader fans chanting on as a third touch goes back to the Bruins. Set up well. The 3 defense is enough to keep it alive for UCLA, and then the hammer fist comes through from Sean McQuiggan.
Crusaders had a nice block that first time up, but just too much power there for UCLA to get them another point.
Zach Rama will go back. The Phoenix, Arizona native, the all-AVCA second team member, slaps it over, and it'll be a service error.
That'll be the Bruins' second service error already here in this first set. Belmont Abbey getting 2 points off of that.
They're sticking in this game, and they're in a 7-series win streak after losing to Mount Olive back in 3/15, and it's cleanly dished over. A dig there from Zach Rama, and just slams that straight through the defense.
Looks like it bounced off the ankle a little bit too there on that back line, and Bruins with some really hard hits coming out of the gate.
Sean Kelly up to the service line here. The 6'7" freshman. Long wingspan, slams it over, and it bounces back to the Bruins. Fortunate bounce, one-on-one at the net, and he slams it again. The double touch from Cooper Robinson. The bounce out of bounds, and we're going to see if they want to maybe go for an early challenge. Was very close there, Gabe, to touching off a hand.
It really was, and looks like Joseph Morris was one who knocked it over, being resilient on that, but looks like a pretty close call, and we'll see if they do challenge it.
Having a chat with the team. Head coach John Hawks, and you talk about a first-year guy. I mean, even if this is such a great program in UCLA, the green card is going to be pulled out. I mean, you talk about what a first-year coach has been able to do with just so much talent.
He really has, and Hawks last coached at Loyola Chicago, another powerhouse. So we're going to see later in this tournament decide to take the job at UCLA. A lot of prestige there for the Bruins, and that's why he took the job.
Get a second look at it, and it is really, really close. Again, called that it was initially just touched out, but the challenge to see if it went off a Belmont Abbey hand. And this is a pivotal swing. I mean, you might think of holding on to the challenge card here early, but I mean, as much as you can get ahead, every team is dangerous here in the brackets.
Really is, and Belmont Abbey hasn't lost a set since April 12th, Luke. Not a game, a set. So they're coming in red hot, and you know, you don't want one of these teams that's on fire right now to get the momentum swing early on here.
They are here to play, here to stay. This is only their 3rd appearance all-time in the NCAA tournament. Entered first back in 2021, but we talked about it back-to-back years here, 2024 and 2025. They are ready to play, and you know, they have some really interesting pieces that they're going to be able to work around, but I think it's not just winning this first set that's so important. I think it's the overall day for them, because today is going to be a challenge, but it's also the whole weekend, and Monday is what you've got to think about with that deep bench. The call will be off a hand, so point given to the Bruins. Successful challenge.
It is a pivotal set because Belmont Abbey would be within 2 with that last set, but Bruins getting the point, so now they're up 4.
9-5, the 2-point swing. Sean Kelly sends it off the line. Low dig there, and then slices between 2. Jabril Elahad ends that one.
And it really came from that dig, Luke, that set Belmont Abbey up so perfectly to get that nice strike over.
Caden Dale step up. Junior outside hitter from Gainesville, Florida. Drives one over. Popped up, Rowan slammed down over the net, kept alive. Played off the libero, and then slices down between 2. A huge shot from Caden Day.
Opposite side 2 from Day, one of Belmont Abbey's best offensive players, showing why right there.
And Day, after getting the point, he's headed right back to the line. Get a second look at that beautiful touch. You're going to have to attack those 2 frontline defenders. The service this time, 5 in the back line, slammed off 2, and the defense works out.
One thing you're gonna have to do here is try to slow down Cooper Robinson. Belmont Abbey with the block at the net there, doing just that.
Caden Day will go back for the 3rd time straight to the line. Set 1 here still. Day, it's nicely punched over. Ooh, the quick flip around. Andrew Rowan's got some style.
Andrew Rowan, all MBSF first team, and it's been 3 times now in his career that he has made an all MBSF team.
He's had a really, really good career and would love to tally a championship on top. A short serve. Dealt well over. Day is going to call it, and it's not off a hand here, so Bruins points.
And that's a nice dig by Zach Puentes of the Crusaders, but just a little too far outside there on that hit. Gives a point to the Bruins.
Sean McQuiggan, the redshirt junior. Another short serve here. A flip around, and you want a taste of your own medicine, Joseph Morris will administer it.
And I think part of this first set, and we'll probably see it today, it's more of like a feeling out process. Neither of these teams have played each other this year.
Ryan Charles up and over. Set 1-2, and a good little play there from Cameron Thorne. So good at those switch-ups of pace.
He really was, and I think it barely touched the fingertips of 2 of the Belmont Abbey players there.
Andrew Rowan back to the line. Service monster. 30 aces on the season. Not one here, though. Belmont Alley, their 3rd touch. They don't unfortunately get it over. It's a free ball. Thorne to Rowan, back to Thorne. It's a fake to the jump line start, and Sean Kelly buries it.
It wasn't an ideal hit over for Belmont Abbey. Bruins were able to take advantage of that.
So, Belmont Abbey will call their first timeout, and that means we will step aside here on ESPN+. Don't go anywhere. We've got more NCAA college volleyball and plus in the NCAA first round. Belmont Abbey trailing UCLA 9-13, as it will be Andrew Rowan stepping up to the line. Rowan sends it over. Crusaders deal. 1-2-3 off that left side, popped up by the libero. Rowan sends back, and it's another assist that works out in the Bruins' favor.
That's going to be Kelly's now 4th kill, leading the team so far, striking early.
That means Rowan will head back. He was an AVCA first-team selection last year. Over and clean. The blocker was huge from Cooper Robinson.
You saw El Haddad going up for the Crusaders, Robinson going up for the block as well. He has the height advantage, and we saw why right there.
Rowan back again. Lead is 6, trying to extend it. A run back here off the libero pop. 3rd touch is not over the net, and the Crusaders dropping down by 7.
We've seen it a few times today now. The setup to Caden Day just has been going too far out of play, so it's forcing him to make some very difficult hits over the net.
Rowan returns. Up high off the right hand, service error and kills his own man.
UCLA up to their 3rd service error. Belmont Abbey hasn't had an area in terms of serving the ball.
Pretty solid and playing a little bit safer, I'd say. Not really going for those aces, just targeting those midpoints. Serve is off here for Abbey. Played off the right side for the Bruins, and it goes off the hand of Luke Zelnis, and we'll score that one.
El Haddad tried to get a handle on that ball, but the tip made it not possible to do so.
Get to see another look of it. And actually was, El Haddad, who couldn't quite receive that. Another service error, though, here for the Bruins.
And that's when the conservative approach, can kind of help out the Crusaders get back into it if you force your opponent to make mistakes.
Joseph Morris entering this morning as the team leader in aces with 21. And he puts one over top. So service error back to back.
Both teams passing the ball right back to each other.
Both are in an adverse environment, still trying to get a feel of the ball. And it's an early morning matchup, kind of a different time slot than they usually play.
Also, on top of that, UCLA coming over from the West Coast, so a 3-hour time difference as well.
Got to talk to the Crusaders. They had a 6-hour drive up, so not too bad. Ito David, yellow shoe slams it over. The pop-up send down. Defeat keeps it alive. Off the bench. Third touch has to be free and over. 1-2 setup. Over again, and it touches the backhand of Cooper Robinson, who can't keep it in.
And that was great.
Zach Puentes. 13 aces on the season. Was named the player of the year exiting high school for Florida. A little fake down again and a miscommunication there from Sean McQuiggan, and the Crusaders on a 2-run score.
McQuiggan, not sure if he was trying to hit it back to one of his teammates because the ball just went to the side.
Puentes will re-enter. The sophomore gets it over off the libero. Rowan, send down is beautiful. Sean McQuiggan, they'll say it's out.
McQuiggan tried to get some quick revenge there against the Crusaders, but barely wasn't in the court of play.
Had some close calls, but now a 3-run strike here. Puentes gets it over barely. Rowan sets, slam down comes through, but again, it's too far, too much heat.
Bruins just barely overshooting a lot of these hits over the net, and it's led to some points for the Crusaders.
And the Crusader fans will love it as UCLA is going leads by 3 here on ESPN+. It's been a good back and forth, and we're over halfway through our first set of possibly 5. First round game here. Step back up the line for Puentes. He'll go off the right side of the court. And I'll get it over off the libero. Rowan, again, the 1-2 setup is huge. Out of the timeout, it's Sean Kelly to score.
Thought there for a second that McQuiggan was going to have the quicker hit, but opted for the ball to float a little bit longer, so Sean Kelly is able to get that kill.
Zach Rommel will be back up to the line off of the beautiful 1-2 play. Lead extended to 4 here for the Bruins. It's over nicely for Rama. Third touch, though, is slices it right to us.
Luke Williams with the tip there, too. Give that man a jersey.
We're in the line of fire here today, not in our usual position up on the concourse level. Zach Rama will return to the line here. Rama's got it over with his hair flowing in the wind. Shot here, blocked away. And that's the double defense of Andrew Rowan and McQuiggan that has been so hard to beat all season.
For UCLA, too, with the height advantage, it is very important for them to win at the net.
Looks like they'll actually call it out off the 2 defenders. So a call going the Crusaders' way. They'll get the serve and a nice little defensive touch. How about that one from Ryan Charles?
Charles on the one-on-one, able to overpower his defender, and Belmont Abbey roaring.
Trailing by 3. Kramer will send it over. Rowan goes for the change back. Doesn't catch the Crusaders off guard. In system, 3 defenders. The pancake keeps it alive, but it's free and over. A good rally here, but then the 2 defenders, another keep alive. Have to give it over for free. Bruins calm it down and then go right for a fake of their own, but it's not enough. Defenses, though, and it scores.
That's a nice little rally there. Both teams making some incredible defensive plays, but the Bruins prevail on that one.
The first team over 20, and they are looking to strike this first set off of the record books. Sean Kelly to the line. Kelly gets it over. A nice little change back pass, but it was the defense and that exploding of the back line that UCLA exposed.
Well, and with Belmont Abbey, it went off of a foot of Zach Puentes, so no one is able to get a chance to hit the ball over after that.
Kelly's back to the line here. Spent a year at Loyola Chicago. High School. Change back there is good, and the defense prevails another for UCLA.
That time it went off of the libero Alejandro Leon and just bounced back.
Looks like the Crusaders are going to close 23-17 in set 1 of the first round matchup. The back-to-back champions will send Sean Kelly to the line. No service error, and he'll grab the ace. The defense can't handle the spice.
Right dead in the middle, too, there to get UCLA up 7 now.
A lot of chances to close it out. This is set point number 1. Kelly looking for the dagger. Almost grabs it off the back line throw, and a nice little right side slasher.
You know, the Bruins were crashing that far side, and the awareness from Joseph Morris to just knock it over. Nobody's there.
Set point number 2 for UCLA. Needs to be flawless from Caden Day and the rest of the Crusaders. A 4 backline set for the Bruins as Day leads off. Popped up, slammed down, and that'll be set 1. Rowan has been the assist monster, and the Bruins earned themselves a set 1 victory.
And they made quite a few errors there in the opening frame as well, so we'll see what adjustments they make, and if the Bruins are able to take out some of those errors, their offense is going to be really tough to stop.
And we got to hear about the Crusaders overall. I think one of their big goals is just finding 1-0 over Belmont Abbey in the first round of the men's NCAA championship tournament. Myself, Luke Williams, joined alongside Gabe Eaker, and there were some mistakes in the first set for UCLA, but they were still able to pull it off.
It really was because of that 1-2 punch that they had with Sean Kelly and Cooper Robinson. They really took over there in the second half of the first set.
And I mean, Andrew Rowan as well. You talk about a guy that surpassed 3,000 career assists here at UCLA. He is over 800 on the season. He's approaching 900 very, very quickly and is just an insane monster. We'll head here into set 2, and speak of the devil, Andrew Rowan wants to go to the line. Doesn't find the ace, but he'll go back on a 1-2. That's exactly what the Crusaders need to start this set.
Yeah, you got to start strong here. You know that you're down 1-0 against a very good UCLA team. Got to strike first and get some points together.
They'll go back to the line, and they'll strike. Rowan set up Thorne. The 1-2 punch slams again.
And something scary to watch out for is Cameron Thorne just right in front of the net. He has so much power when he swings that ball.
He's a 6'4" tall guy as well. Cooper Robinson to the line and over. Actually punched back to the Bruins side as a two-hand swing back to Thorne, and again, the UCLA go back-to-back points.
That time you saw Ryan Charles try to go to Cameron Thorne on that and just wasn't able to do it because of the speed of the ball coming in.
Some speed, some power here. UCLA the lead in both this set and set total. Punch off the libero and then a quick right side. Again, the power is insurmountable.
That time it was from Zach Rama going to the opposite side there with his kill.
Cooper Robinson heading over to the line. And up and over. They'll give the point to the Crusaders as another service error for those in set number 1. UCLA needs to avoid those here in set 2.
They really do need to clean that up for sure, Luke.
Jabril El-Haddad will head off to the line. He sends that one over. 1-2 quick to Thorne, but a two-hand keep alive. The pineapple flies over the net, and they'll say not off a hand, out of bounds for a Bruin point.
Caden Day, outside hitter, almost landed that on that near side corner, just barely off there.
So Cameron Thorne will go to the line, the junior middle blocker from Hollywood, Florida. Up and over nicely. Throw back off the edge line and gets it off a blocker to go. Zach Puentes, welcome back.
Zach Puentes, a guy who is all-conference Carolina's first team.
A lot of talent all over this squad. These teams have never met in an NCAA matchup. And they didn't play any mutual opponents this year either. Joseph Morris up and over. Off of Rowan, they set back. And it's going to go slicing out for a Crusader point.
That one was close as well. And got to give credit to the Crusaders there, not trying to hit that ball because it did barely got out of bounds.
4-4 the score, all tied up. Joseph Morris leads the team in aces and hits the net, the service error, the rare mistake from the Crusaders.
And that was so close to becoming just a bump over the net. That would have been really tough for UCLA to return, just didn't get enough on it.
Zach Rama comes back. Rama sends the libero and sends it to the ceiling of the Cavelli. Up and over. Bruins looking for a rally here or just to end it. Kept alive by Leone. Touchdown slow. And the Bruins stay alive. Free ball back up and over. Recommunication back. And the right side slammer back to the libero. Staying in this rally, staying in the slider. And it unfortunately bounces off the defense and inside their own guy for a Bruin point.
We've seen it a few times now with the Crusaders being able to dig out some really tough hits, but you just got to keep the ball alive and find the right spots to hit it out of.
So a 2-point string here from UCLA. Zach Rama's back. And he sends a nice one that is going to be an ace. Just a killer touch with so much power, perfectly laced for the 7th point of this set.
If you want to talk about power, it went off the chest of Zach Puentes as well, so didn't have the quickest reaction time to try to return it.
The battle of the Zacks. Zach Rama's back to the line, and we'll go for a service error.
Belmont Abbey has gotten a decent amount of points, as you mentioned already, Luke, off of these attacking errors and service errors from the Bruins.
It's what led to a lot of struggles against the last two series. Bruins on a 2-game loss streak, losing to Pepperdine and USC, excuse me. Popped up and over. Rowan keeps it. The sent down off the libero and couldn't keep it in from Christian Rodriguez.
Yeah, just a really tough angle to try to get the ball up for his teammates. And you want to talk about UCLA, and really, they caught Pepperdine at the wrong time. Pepperdine's really hot right now.
See Pepperdine later as well. Sean Kelly. Locking in here, the 3-seed defense. Up and over the referee. Sent back over free. Free shipping right back to Yo Mama.
And it really started there with Andrew Rowan making a really tight play right next to the net judge and able to keep it alive for the Bruins, leading to another point for them.
Packs it up, sends it away. This is kind of a streak back here from UCLA. And it's going to be back up and over. Another service error here.
Definitely got to clean those up if you're the Bruins right now, because really that's what's keeping Belmont Abbey within striking distance.
9-6, and they really are. They're right there. Rowan is going to go challenging at the net, and it just doesn't bounce their way. El Haddad had his number.
Tough bounce for sure, and El Haddad, another All-Conference Carolinas first team for this Crusaders squad.
And just so many talented pieces. But teams from California, there's a lot of them here in the tournament. That's a short touch over, awaiting the pancake, sending his teammate away. And then the battle at the line doesn't go Caden Day's way.
Right there again, we saw another block from a UCLA front line who's been so dominant this year.
They really have been the staple of this team. They are averaging 2 and about a third blocks per set as a team. Send over, and there's another great one. The 3-player front line works out.
Well, the Bruins multiple times this year have played their rivals USC, and the Trojans are really good at getting blocks. So you got to imagine playing against them gets them ready for moments like these.
Just bolstered by the talent all across California, as we mentioned. Here's a quick change-up double touch there as Ryan Charles buries that one.
And that kill was almost as crisp as a high five to his teammate Zach Fuentes afterwards. A nice little pop.
The teams are excited to be here. Love the post-point celebrations. UCLA still leading in set count, though. Crusaders looking for a chargeback. Rowan to Thorne, faked away, and then like almost off the noggin there of El Haddad, but bounces inside the net for a Crusader point.
Yeah, and the net was just so crowded in front for UCLA. Wasn't able to get the right misdirection off.
Caden Day. No errors back in the first set, but no aces either. And it's clean this time. Played away beautifully from Andrew Rowan, who moves to the other side of the court. Crusaders, 1-2, touch to the back line. El Haddad slams it for double digits.
El Haddad getting a lot of kills right now in this second set, and thought for a minute there, Andrew Rowan, he was going to sit down with us for a second. Good hustle by him, but El Haddad with another nice kill.
Caden Dale stay at the line. The junior gets it over. Rowan, Thorne, duo again finds the point off of an awkward little slowdown play.
Great play by the middle blocker, and when you have so much power, sometimes it is good to kind of catch the defense off guard with slow moves like that.
As much power as they do have, they're great at those change-ups. Rowan, 2 service errors overall on the day today. Up and over. Sent at the front line, and here's a soft touch the other way. It's just medicine given and received.
Well, it goes both ways. Crusaders have some hard hitters as well, and back-to-back, catching the teams off guard.
And they're staying in this set. That's the most important thing, savoring their timeouts here. Deciding who to send to the line, it will be Ryan Charles, the senior out of Lidditz, Pennsylvania. The line again, Thorne fakes it and sets up a libero backline giveaway. The 3 defense is able to keep it alive. The small touch, the change down, and that's Zach Rama for you.
Well, Zach Fuentes had to get over 3 tall UCLA defenders there, so it probably changes a little bit of what direction he wants the ball to go in, and gave the Bruins a good chance to get a kill on that.
13-11, the Bruins still extending their lead here. It's Cooper Robinson. Was on the gold medal team back in 2019 and has to look for it. The backline shoot, and it lands inside the field of play.
Caden Day having a good day so far. It's going to be his 4th kill of this game.
That is just phenomenal. You're going to need players like him to step up. El Haddad gets it over. Thorne fake again, and it's a soft touch 1-2 that rails across the net, but it's unable to be kept alive. The 1-2-3 out of confusion, and the Bruins get 14.
Well, and right there, they never really just had like full possession of that ball, and it kind of just skidded across to the far out of bounds line.
Thorne looking to do some damage here from the line. Appeared in the NCAA quarterfinal game in his freshman year. Of course, UCLA looking for the all-incredible three-peat. Thorne's got it right to the net for a service error.
Belmont Abbey still in striking distance. We saw this here in the first set, but they got to lock down and make sure the game doesn't get away from them.
Head coach Derek Sullivan, 4 years in the program, in the positive, trying to coach this team to victory. A nice lead off there from Morris, but it's a 1v1 at the line that bounces off the hands of Fuentes.
We talk about Derek Sullivan as well. He's also a player at Belmont Abbey.
Returning back home here today. With the timeout, we're going to step aside here on ESPN+. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here today.
If you're Belmont Abbey, you're going to want to see a lot more of that. We've gotten a lot of points off of it, and time for a momentum swing perhaps for them.
The other Zach Fuentes will step to the line, the business management major, managed to get it over the net. Zach can't handle it, though, off the back line, and nobody was really there to help him.
It was really tough there, and you saw the sliding effort by Joseph Morris. Looked like he was on ice going into his own bench.
A good little penguin slide would be a good exhibit over at the Columbus Zoo. Sean Kelly. The freshman gets it over, dicing the net. 1-2 at the net battle. Bruins hold, though. Slammed down, hits inside, and the defense just couldn't react in time.
And Sean Kelly once more really just putting a stamp on this game with his name on it.
All of a sudden, Bruins are on a 2-point streak. Fans get loud, but Kelly gets it over. Third touch here, pumped in from Day, and he'll score off of it.
Powerful swing to keep it within reach for the Crusaders. Nice play there by Day.
Garrett Hockman will head to the line for the first time today. The sophomore out of Hudson, Wisconsin. Manages it over the net. Slammed down quick, though. That changeup of timing from Cooper Robinson is deadly.
Cooper Robinson, potentially UCLA's best player, just really powerful, and you got to avoid him when you can if you're Belmont Abbey.
I mean, he entered the day today with 335 kills on the season. That is just insane. Ido David to the line here. Sends up off the right hand, and David's got some power. But it's a net back and forth. Little hot potato. But mashing it towards the line. Bruins salted over. Kept alive, 1-2 play. David keeps it in. Rowan punches it back. And a swing down from El Haddad earns the Crusaders a point.
El Haddad has had such a great second set, and we saw a lot of great plays from Ido David on the other side, but Crusaders prevail.
That was a good little rally as well. It is going to be a called timeout here. Both teams had two up until this point. We're going to take a short break here on ESPN+. We'll be right back on the other side of it. UCLA leads 1-0 in set count. We are deep in set number 2 as they also lead 19-15 over the number 6 seeded Belmont Abbey Crusaders. Ido David headed back to the line. Back in 2023 was a first team All-AVCA. And he punches it over. Avoiding those service errors at the line, the 2v1 works out to the Crusaders' right side. Bouncing off, David can't get it, and that's a Crusader point.
Crusaders today with a .085 hit percentage. On the season, they have a .256, so they're going to have to start getting some better hit opportunities here against the Bruins.
All those charges, though, at the front line, you've got to find ways to beat the defense as well. Caden Day. Off the 1916, skies it over for a service error. Bruins are first to 20.
And we've seen the service errors from UCLA, not so much Belmont Abbey, but if you want to stick in this as a Crusaders, you got to limit the mistakes that you make.
And these late sets, I mean, we already saw it in set number 1 where UCLA just ran away with it. Rowan here, punches it to the net, back-to-back service errors.
And now's the time for the Crusaders to really get this offensive attack going. Don't want to be down 2-0 against a UCLA team. It's been so great this season.
Very, very good. Charles up and over, and he'll grab the ace. A beautiful left side slice, and that's an 18th point for the Crusaders.
And that's exactly what you need if you're Ryan Charles and this Crusaders squad. You can hear the fans in here. They're getting back into it.
13th ace of the season, looking for another. Rowan Thorne faked the defense again. The Crusaders are on a streak.
Bruins have been playing with that fake swing from Thorne a lot today, and seems like the Crusaders have caught on more.
And at some point, you've got to let Thorne swing. How great of a player he is, and we're going to have another timeout here as UCLA wants to talk things over. A close set number 2. We're going to take a short break here on ESPN+. We'll see you on the other side of it.
And the net was really crowded there on the far side. Terrific swing from Thorne, and then looks like we're going to keep it 20-19, though, Luke.
It's a close one here at the end of it. Double blockers off the libero of Rodriguez. Right side, double blocker works out. They're going to call it in favor of UCLA. Leon really wanted that point.
He really did. Thorne and Rama there with the block.
21-19 here in set number 2. This is a chance for UCLA to put themselves up just one set away from locking themselves in the semifinals. Robinson over cleanly. Touch back, third is there. What do they call it from Caden Day? It's too far.
And we've seen some of these backward sets from the Crusaders that should try to get the defense out of position there. Just wasn't able to execute on that one.
That means it's 22-19. Cooper Robinson back up here. Robinson is going to hit the netting again for the second service error of his day. First one, excuse me.
Yep, and another service error mistake there for the Bruins. But at some point, though, Luke, you're hanging in there with some of the best, but you got to be a little bit more aggressive and try to get ahead and win these sets.
We'll go back-to-back service errors, just throwing the possession back and forth. And yeah, Robinson's kind of been the leader at the line, but has 3 of those service errors overall combined between the 2 sets. But still the lead. UCLA is showing their offense and showing why they are 7-1 in their last 3 seasons of NCAA. The Crusaders are going to call their final timeout here with only 2 points to give. We'll take a short break here on ESPN Plus, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, everybody, to ESPN Plus and the NCAA National Collegiate Men's Volleyball Championship Tournament. UCLA leads in set count and in the set number 2 as they will send Kale Kleene to the line. His first time on the line of the day. He's the service ace master, 14 on the season. Doesn't pull this one off. Crusaders right side attacking, a beautiful hit there from Caden Day, but doesn't grab the point.
I feel like it's been a matter of inches for Caden Day here today. He's had some really nice swings that are just barely not staying in the court of play.
We're going to see the green card pulled out here from the Crusaders. They want to get a look at this one, and I mean, there is no better time than right now. Even if this was very, very close, if it's not your point, you get a chance to talk over to your teammate, and it's going to be a very, very quick call, and they'll say it was Caden Day, landed it in, no longer set point for UCLA.
Caden Day making a lot of plays so far, and especially here in this second set, and that really helps out Belmont Abbey try to claw their way back into set number 2.
Gives them a little bit of breathing room here, but for Joseph Morris, the team leader in aces, is going to try and do it. The data analytics major. Sophomore, off the right hand, gets it in. Set back 1-2 is good enough from Cooper Robinson, and immediately battled back from speed.
You could just tell with that entire play how everyone was positioned. That was set up so perfectly, and the Bruins feel so comfortable going to Robinson in situations like these.
Zach Rommel looks to call set. Arizona Player of the Year in 2023. He gets it over, but no! He aces them! That's the set. UCLA is looking for the sweep as they head up 2-0. Welcome back, everybody, to ESPN Plus and our coverage of the NCAA National Collegiate Men's Volleyball Championship. Myself, Luke Williams, alongside Gabe Beaker. And Gabe, we're not only the one stylish here in the room today, we've got some stylish shoes.
Yeah, and how about those? Not sure if they're Dunks or Air Forces, but painted by the team photographer Sally Dang, and there's a lot going on in those shoes. They look amazing.
They're phenomenal. Made especially for this game, and they're back-to-back runs here through the NCAA championships. So styling out on the edge of the court here and trying to lead their team back from what is now a 2-set deficit. The Bruins looking to be pulled out by the Bruins. On the other side, the Crusaders feeling like the underdog in this set now need to come back and try and swing for the fences.
And it's really going to be difficult taking 3 sets in a row against this Bruins squad, but you know what? Belmont Abbey came in red hot. They've been victorious in a lot of big games this year, so now's the time to steal some of that spotlight away from UCLA.
They're on a 7-game win streak. We're off in set 3. No quick point. 1-2 defense challenge, and that was huge from Zach Fuentes.
Certainly was, and you saw Robinson duck a little bit, maybe thinking it was going to go out of bounds, but Fuentes' location there, pristine.
Needing to challenge the defense. Crusaders leading 1-0. Charles gets it over. Rowan Thorne fake, and it's again that mid 1-2 fake that sets up Zach Rama.
It's so tough to prepare against that just because of how powerful these 2 UCLA hitters are in the middle.
Rowan will head off to the line here for the first time in the set. Rowan gets it cleanly off the libero and almost into the stands. Third touch is free. Thorne to Rowan. Set up fake again. Beats the blocker, Sean Kelly, that time.
Sean Kelly with 9 kills on the day for the Bruins, leading the team.
As Rowan heads back to the line, they're just a team that shares the wealth very well. That one up and over, service error, we stay tied.
Service error number 12 for the Bruins.
That's a lot. That's something you're going to have to clean up, especially as we get a little bit later into the tournament. Thorne pulled by a member of the coaching staff over to the right side, and then the right side drop. Al Haddad doesn't get it over, but it is over by the Bruins. The back line deals it well enough, and the front line fake. That's how you beat the 3-man defense.
It certainly is, and Crusaders now working with the lead against the Bruins.
This is one where you've got to extend. You've got to push your margin. Right now as a team, hitting only about 9.4%. Al Haddad gets it over. A battle at the net, a 1-2 quick. And over towards the officials table. Kept alive by a free ball. Thorne gives it for free back. A lot of quick 1-2s. The 3-man defense keeps it in. Great rally, great 1-2. And the setup for Garrett Hockman is huge from the Crusaders.
And all of that started because of the hustle play by Zach Fuentes there. Diving onto the scorer's table to keep the ball alive and eventually led to a point for the Crusaders.
Extending their margin here. El Haddad. Graduated high school with a grade point over 3.7. The smart man in the back line won't be able to grab that point as the Bruins find a soft spot.
Zach Rama once again with another kill.
Cooper Robinson heads off to the line here. 3 service errors so far. Robinson right on right, sends it in. Quick look on the fake, and what a catch from the Crusaders. They are changing it up on the 2-man hit.
Certainly did. Rama wasn't able to block it there that time, and time to see what the Crusaders are going to do. Up 2 now.
Joseph Morris actually helped his high school club team finish 5th as nationals as a senior. Off the back line, libero, Rowan to Thorne. That's what we were looking for. As Thorne finds it, but it'll not be a point here for UCLA.
Just like that, Belmont Abbey getting their fans right back into this game.
Talking it over with the coaching staff to see if they want to pull out the green card, and instead we'll let it fly. Up and over nicely. Rowan, pop, Thorne, that's the man. Back-to-back daggers delivered from Thorne as UCLA stays in this one.
It's a really tough offense to hold down for long periods of time, but Crusaders have done it so far here in the 3rd set.
Thorne moves up to the line himself. Off of Leon. Back line, that's a quick one. 3 players coagulated. The pass back, the one-on-one, and too far, too much. Crusaders up by 3.
Puentes going with that layup look over to the Bruins, and that led to a went out of bounds.
Back on the side of the fan section cheering on for the Crusaders. Zach Puentes looking for another big one. He goes up and over for a service error.
Find the location on that one. Again, another close one. It really has been a game of inches here for both of these teams.
It's only the 5th service error of the match here today. Rama. Leon back to the front line and quickly challenging the defense. Can't get the pancake. Crusaders ate something different here for this set.
Just went off of the stomach of Rama, didn't bounce the way that UCLA was expecting, and diving bodies everywhere. No one was able to get to the volleyball.
Garrett Hockman, the sophomore, will step back up to the line. Played conservatively, but the 3 blocker is not enough to stop Cooper Robinson.
Could see this UCLA team's fired up, even though they're down 2 right now. Definitely know they're still in this one, and if you're UCLA, you definitely want to get out earlier rather than later.
This is a 343rd kill this season for Robinson. Up and over. El-Haddad fakes, libero digs. Sent to the back line, sent to the front line, and Zach Rama cleans it up just like that.
Yeah, and Rama's just been on fire here in the 3rd set. Now up to 9 kills on the day, tied with his teammate Kelly for most on the squad.
Sean Kelly so far at the line, 1 ace, 1 error. Punches it over. Handled well, El-Haddad fakes, but the Bruins keep it alive. A little bit awkward, and that one flies into the stands as looked like both the libero and Rowan wanted to go for it.
And once the ball hits the stands, it's kind of like a pinball. You don't know where it's going to bounce and found its way back home, but really right now, really tight contested game by both of these teams. They know what's at stake.
And those liberos avoid some of the sub rules in the sub count you get for a team. Luka Kirchi comes in, number 3 for the Bruins. 9-7 though, Crusaders leading off their early surge here in the set. Caden Day. 1 service error at the line, no aces. He gets it over cleanly. Right side off a 3, and off the blockers, it'll go out of bounds for a UCLA point.
Tough block right there. You had everyone in position, but just didn't go off the hands the right way if you're the Crusaders.
McQuiggan will head over to the line. McQuiggan, no aces on the season. A little clap back, and that one a little bit too high. They're going to call it off of a blocker, and a point for the Crusaders.
Nice pointing down of a ground celebration there from Day with another sweet kill.
Crusaders have been turning up in their celebrations as well. Just barely hits the edge line. Here's the Thorne-Roan combo, but it's off 2 blockers and out of bounds again. They have targeted that left side, and UCLA has reaped the rewards.
Really has paid dividends for the Bruins, and if you're UCLA right now, got to get a couple of nice serves off to try to regain the lead.
Rowan leads the team in service errors on the day with 4, but gets it over cleanly this time. Battle at the net, slide inside 2, and UCLA goes for the kick. We're playing some soccer out here.
Wrong sport, but if I could critique that bicycle kick, that was pretty solid down the line.
That's a 10 out of 10 for me. 11 for the Crusaders here as El-Haddad heads to the line. Hits the net, and with a service error, both teams are on double digits.
Now, as the sets have progressed, it seems like the Crusaders are making a few more mistakes than they did there back in the first.
Trying to figure out how to avoid those is going to be ideal. Not only today, but for the Crusaders, that they can find a way to win this game the rest of the tournament as well. dugout here. Morris gives it over, and a slam down ball, not able to be kept alive, courtesy of Zach Fuentes.
Morris, one of those guys for the Crusaders that has gotten a lot of kills this year, and you saw why with offensive plays like that.
Speaking of Morris, back to the line for him. Gets it over, but gets it back. That's the power. That's the front line one-on-one, and it's going to be a net touch, and UCLA will grab the point.
Not only that, but the ball seemed to touch every single part of Garrett Hockman's body there in a really short amount of time.
The old ricochets. This court going to be well used here today, as we've got 4 games to decide our semifinalists that'll play on Saturday. Cameron Thorne. That's a nice little serve. But a front line 1-on-2 finds the margin, courtesy of Caden Day.
And Day, when he's been on today, has been the Crusaders' best offensive player. Him and El Haddad have really been making many of these plays for them.
And we'll continue to need to. Down 2 sets, you need to make a move here in set 3. Serve is off nicely. Rowan sets up the right side of Rama. 2-blocker dig, and they'll call it off an arm and a Crusader point.
Well, we talked about angles a little bit earlier, but one of the advantages if you are Belmont Abbey is you're able to get it off the fingertips, and it's really tough to receive on that back line from the Bruins like you saw just there.
They're able to pull out the protractor, find the angle of their own. Fuentes is back to the line. Off of his right hand, too far, and a point for UCLA.
As we're getting into this stretch where Belmont Abbey has to start getting wins in sets, what you don't want to do is give the ball right back to UCLA because they can do damage very quickly.
Especially someone like Zach Rama, who's got 2 aces on the day already. And he'll get another 3rd ace of the day for Zach Rama.
The trio of Robinson, Kelly, and Rama has really been what's put UCLA in these big positions.
Looking for the back-to-back ace. Rama off the right hand, and as per usual, we'll go service error.
Service error number 13 for the Bruins, but you know what? They haven't had a whole lot here in the set number 3.
Well, set number 3 will continue here. Round matchup of the National Championship Tournament for men's volleyball. Belmont Abbey leading over UCLA 15-13. They get the serve off nicely. Rowan sends away off the pass, and it's dealt well from Sean Kelly out of the timeout.
Went off of the hands of Jabril El Haddad there too, so sometimes tough to field some of those balls when they tip off and kind of go in a different direction that you're not expecting.
Sean Kelly will head back to the line here. Trailing by 1. Over nicely, some power, heard the boom. But it'll be El Haddad trying for the boom, but the defense of UCLA tying it up.
Here in the 3rd set, the script has kind of been flipped where UCLA was fighting back but not taking the lead, but now they have a chance to here.
Their blocks per set is actually their worst statistical category. Crazy, I mean, 17 still in the country for it, but they've improved a lot on it today. Up and over, they'll say off a hand of the right side from Robinson for a Crusader point.
It's important to note that both teams still have both of their timeouts as well, so we'll see if there's a quick little swing by either team before those might be burned.
And Caden Day is just the guy you want at the line if you're the Crusaders. Nice little slice down. Oh, a nice move from Rowan and earns the quick point.
Rowan not known to get a whole lot of kills, but is able to there.
Good to see just a hint of the Penn State players walking behind the UCLA bench into the locker room. Of course, the winner of this matchup will play the winner of our next matchup in Hawaii and Penn State. Ito David wants to lock them into that semifinals. Big shot over the netting. Fake back to the center, and the dual blocker again of Thorne and Robinson win out.
Like I've said multiple times already, Foreign and Robinson on that front line. There's just so much size with the Bruins. It can be really tough to get it over the net.
Ito David just brings so much power as well. They are just full of artillery on this team. UCLA now leading. They get it over. Pop back for free to the Bruins. As Thorne, Rowan, set up 1, 2, 3, and it's up and over, off a hand, and for a Bruins point.
Well, really, you needed that punch to keep it alive, but Bruins are
looking to close out their first-round matchup and earn themselves a semifinal bid on Saturday. Ito David leads off of the line. UCLA, this score is only the second time they've been leading all game long. This 2-point streak, ever since it was 2-1. Crusaders have been in control. They look to control again. That one right over our heads for a Crusader point.
Luke, I thought for a second there that was going to be my moment of glory.
Got to give both of us a jersey, I guess.
Who's the setter and who's the hitter in that scenario?
Ooh. I don't know. I guess we'll have to trade off. Rowan, Thorne, fake again. The slide down defense is good, and the Crusaders are right back in it. Excuse me, it's going to actually be a UCLA point instead, so they expand it to 2.
3 players on UCLA now with double-digit kills today. Robinson, Kelly, and Rama.
Up and over here. Well done from Rowan. Off the back line. Kelly keeps it alive. Thorne looks for the back line but won't find the spot. 1-2 quick, and that's a kill from Robinson.
You know, in moments like these where you need to get these wins and you're getting later in the set, it's exactly who you want to turn to in your star player with Cooper Robinson.
Crusaders are going to burn a... Welcome back, everybody, to ESPN Plus for a set 3 showdown between the number 3 and number 6 seeded team. It is going to be Rowan leading off and getting a good backline touch. Quickly from the right side, Zach Rama gets the kill.
Seems like we're back where we started in these first 2 sets where the Crusaders have been in it, but UCLA really pulling away here late in set 3.
Now leading by 4. Rowan looks to make it even more. Up and over. It's going to be close, but the Crusaders will earn themselves a service error point.
We'll see if there's a potential challenge here, Luke. UCLA still able to use one of these challenges. May as well, since it is close.
At this point, you've got the cards, but UCLA has been very wary of trying to challenge and giving the Crusaders any extra rest time. Instead, they hold their card. Aiden Acton to the line. The sophomore got it over. Thorne punches it back. Free ball. Thorne alive and back to the audience. Another soccer kick. But Cooper Robinson can't get a goal.
That was the last ditch effort there from Robinson. Really tough angles from all 3 players to touch that ball. Gives the Crusaders a point.
And because of it, UCLA doesn't like the way things are trending. They'll call a timeout here, and so will we. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're back in a close one here. UCLA leads the Belmont Abbey Crusaders 21-19. The double major, finance, economics, Aiden Acton at the line. And he sends it over. Rowan, fake inside. No, it's just a 1-2 play. Zach Rama scores.
UCLA just used a timeout, wanted to reset, and it was proven to be worth the time right there.
Cooper Robinson, the man, the myth, the legend. Looks to head to the line. Robinson today, 3 service errors, no aces. And he'll change that. First ace of the day for Cooper Robinson.
It came at an important time, too. UCLA slowly building up their lead.
Get the League of Legends homage with the silver scrapes. Belmont Abbey hoping to pull that strength in, going to game 5. They've got a long way to go, though. Still here in set 3, they battle the 3 defenders, and lose. UCLA, they are 1 point away from advancing to the semifinals.
And that was just a 3-on-1 there. The power of that front line of the Bruins prevails once more.
Cooper Robinson, on his last outing, had an ace. Can he find another? It's going to be a challenge here from Belmont Abbey, and at this point, Gabe, you have to assume this is more of a gather your team, talk it over challenge rather than a full challenge.
Yeah, I mean, may as well, and you do need 5 points here to at least hold off UCLA from winning this set, so it really is kind of just like that last effort to be like, hey guys, we can still win this. It's just we're going to have to go on a run, set up some offense.
It will be UCLA point confirmed. The kings of the sport, the team that has not lost a first-round game since 1972, looks to close it out in 3. And Cooper Robinson looks to be the man to do it. A 5-line stack with Cameron Thorne calling the shots. Serve is out, punched back. Played alive. Robinson set up, Thorne back alive. Need to regroup. Thorne calls him off, slam down of the 3. Third touch needs to be kept alive. It's back up and over off that third. Looking to score here, up and down on the defense. A good rally. The ender, yes it is! Sean Kelly sends UCLA to the semifinals.
Kelly, one of 3 players